The man convicted in a Belvidere triple murder learns his fate. The sentence handed down to Zelenskyy Smith.
Plus, residents across Boone County still without power. The cleanup efforts in Belvidere after this weekend's heavy winds.
And bringing joy to young adult cancer patients. The fundraiser helping the Richel Foundation grant more wishes.
Live from WTVO 17. This is Eyewitness News at 5.
Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Wendell Edwards. We're glad you're here. Tonight at 5, a man convicted of killing 3 people in Belvidere will now spend the rest of his life in prison.
28-year-old Zelenskyy Smith was given 3 consecutive life sentences during a court hearing today. Back in May, he was found guilty of murdering Andrew Hint and his 2 young sons, Benjamin and Sebastian. On December 19, 2021, the bodies of Hint and his boys were found in their Belvidere home. All 3 had been shot in the head. That same day, Smith was seen leaving the home, taking the Ring doorbell off the door. He was then seen driving Hint's stolen truck the following day. According to prosecutors, Smith and Hint were involved in selling marijuana, and Smith owed Hint $10,000 at the time of the murders. Attorneys have filed a motion to appeal today's sentence.
Police arrest a Rockford felon who they say was driving a stolen car involved in a shooting. 22-year-old Jason Wilson now faces multiple charges, including possession of a firearm by a felon and vehicle theft. Saturday, scope officers say they spotted that stolen car on 11th Street. Police say the car was suspected of being involved in a shooting on Cunningham Street near Tinker Swift's Cottage. Now, it's not clear if there were any injuries or when that shooting took place. The car took off with Wilson attempting to get away before police stopped him and arrested him.
We have new details on an investigation into a deadly hit and run in Beloit earlier this month. On August 9th, 37-year-old Leroy Helminiak was on his motorcycle when he was hit and killed. Police say Helminiak ran a red light and was hit by a 1999 GMC Jimmy. Officers later found the SUV abandoned. Today, Beloit police say they tracked down the owner of the SUV and issued him an owner's liability citation for failing to stop at an accident scene. The driver of the vehicle is still at large.
Also in Beloit, police there investigating another deadly motorcycle crash. The city of Beloit responded to the crash on Cranston Road Sunday afternoon. Authorities say a woman was killed as a result. The motorcycle was the only vehicle involved. Police are investigating alongside Wisconsin State Police.
Crews in Belvidere are still working to clean up the damage caused by severe storms over the weekend. The city says several parks are closed due to the damage, including Belvidere, Bob's, Cottonwood, and Sunstrand parks. The city gave no timeline as to when those parks will reopen. Crews are also working to restore power to all residents. As of just before 5 this evening, more than 176 ComEd customers in Boone County were still without power. ComEd estimates the majority will have electricity restored tonight. The Nicholas Richel Foundation held an event in Beloit today to continue their mission of granting wishes to young adult cancer patients.
Eyewitness reporter Tyler Sorensen talked with Nick's Wish about this event. Tyler, what was it for?
Yeah, Mimi, Wendell, it was a golfing fundraiser with over 80 golfers showing up to the event, all to help raise funds for the Nicholas Richel Foundation can continue to grant wishes. Now, this event was also put together by 3 of the former recipients of Nick's Wish, all of them grateful that their wish got granted and are hoping to reciprocate the gesture by helping others receive their own wish, including a girl named Tegan, who's fighting Hodgkin's lymphoma.
And so her wish is to take her family to Hawaii. Knowing what I was able to get from the family trip to Hawaii, I want to be able to give that back. So that was a special moment for me and my family. I'm trying to give that back to her. Raising enough funds for a wish is what the goal is. I think we can do it. I think we can do it.
Now, with this being the first year for the golf outing in Wisconsin, they're hoping to continue it and grow it again next year. Wendell.
Tyler, thank you. Students in Rockford schools just finished the 3rd day of class this school year, but for Dr. Aaron Jarrett, this is his last academic school year as superintendent of RPS 205. I talked with Dr. Jarrett at Constance Lane Elementary School earlier this summer in an exclusive interview. We spoke about his time leading the district, and he says now it was just time for him to leave. Dr. Jarrett was named superintendent in 2013. He is now the longest serving superintendent in Rockford Public Schools in 60 years. He says his tenure was a life lesson in leadership.
What I've learned is the importance of goal setting, of having a shared vision, of having a standard that you apply to yourself, but also to your teammates.
Coming up tonight at 6, we'll hear more from Dr. Jarrett in this interview and what he is most proud of during his time as Rockford's superintendent.
The city's first ever natural playgrounds unveiled to the public. Clem Arboretum and Botanic Garden cut the ribbon on the outdoor play space this morning. The project's been in development for several years and was funded by a nearly $400,000 state grant. The playground is made up of logs and other natural elements, keeping it in line with Clem's mission to be a major outdoor destination.
You know, one of our goals is to be Northern Illinois' top outdoor destination for families, and this fits right in there. You know, we have great programs and events. We have our Erie Autumn Lights event coming up in October, but this is just another piece of it to get people out here on a weekly, daily basis to spend time together and enjoy the outdoors.
The playground pieces were constructed for Clem by the company Earthworks.
September is Suicide Prevention Month, and NAMI Northern Illinois is preparing for that event next month, discussing prevention, awareness, and hope. Tonight, we're getting a preview of the program called Be Here Tomorrow. Multiple panelists will discuss their experiences with suicide and provide resources to community members. In addition, pieces by artists who have been impacted by the topic will also be displayed. NAMI is partnering with several organizations for the initiative, including Rockford Area Moms Demand Action and the League of Women Voters of Greater Rockford.
If we can reduce these thoughts in people and we can help offer them some assistance, we can reduce the amount of gun violence overall. And you know, we know that well over 600 people a year in the state of Illinois lose their lives due to gun suicide. And so we want to impact that number in a positive way.
Be Here Tomorrow will be held at the Nordloff Center on September 8th.
President Trump continues his efforts to end the war between Russia and Ukraine.
When we come back, the details of his meeting today with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy.
Humidity and scattered storms has been the name of the game today. I'll let you know when we finally start to see things clear out and eventually cool down quite a bit. That's coming up in just a few minutes.
You're watching Eyewitness News, your home team, with Mimi Murphy, Wendell Edwards, Sports Director Scott Leber, and meteorologist Jordan Wolf.
Ukrainian President Zelenskyy is in Washington today with bolstered support from European leaders, all meeting with President Trump.
It comes 3 days after President Trump's summit in Alaska with Russia's President Vladimir Putin. Christian Cadero is at the White House with the update.
His last time here ended poorly, but today Ukrainian President Zelenskyy received a handshake and a warm welcome, suited up for a new round of consequential discussions.
First of all, thank you for the invitation and thank you very much for your efforts, personal efforts to stop killings and stop this war. Thank you.
Zelensky's meeting with Trump today is one of two. The White House invitation was extended to a group of European leaders, including British Prime Minister Keir Starmer and French President Emmanuel Macron. The group is trying to show a united front, supporting Zelensky's stance that ending the war in Ukraine must include security guarantees to prevent Russia from attacking Ukraine again in the future. Trump appears willing to back that request.
We are very happy with President that all the leaders are here and the security in Ukraine depends on the United States and on you.
After meeting with Putin on Friday, Trump told Zelenskyy the Russian president is not budging on his demand to keep key regions of Ukraine's territory.
The demand from Putin was the rest of Donetsk, this area here. That is an area about the size of Delaware.
Ultimately, this is a decision that can only be made by President Zelenskyy and by the people of Ukraine.
Trump and European leaders all vowed severe consequences if Putin left Alaska without agreeing to a ceasefire. It seems Putin did not. Last night, Russian airstrikes hit a residential building in Kharkiv, killing at least 7 Ukrainian civilians. Today, Trump was asked how he will respond.
Will there be severe consequences? Does that change because of
I don't think you need a ceasefire. I like the concept of a ceasefire for one reason, because you'd stop killing people immediately.
Trump is still trying to arrange a meeting that brings both Russia and Ukraine to the table. Zelenskyy was left out of the Alaska summit after Putin demanded he meet with Trump one-on-one. Christian Cordero, ABC News, the White House.
Severe thunderstorm alerts are in effect across multiple state-line counties.
When we come back, Jordan lets us know how much longer storms could stick around in his full forecast coming up next.
Now, your First Warn Weather Forecast from meteorologist Jordan Wolf.
Scattered strong to severe thunderstorms continue to develop across parts of the state line here this afternoon and into the evening. The highest coverage of which still down to our south and to our southeast, mainly centered even south of DeKalb and east of Rochelle. That line of storms still developing and producing severe wind gusts, although at the moment, as of 5:15, just about 30 seconds ago, the severe thunderstorm warning that was in DeKalb County was allowed to expire. Now that warning extends out into Kane County and areas further to the west of that, but DeKalb County was allowed to be removed from that warning as the storm still in the southern part of DeKalb County has weakened just below severe limits, still producing some very heavy rainfall, and that extends even out into southern Lee County, and that might be an area that we may have to watch over the next several hours if we were to continue to see these storms resurge over the same areas. Flash flooding could become a concern. Here into what we have right now with velocity showing the highest of that wind out to the south and east of DeKalb, which is why that warning was since removed from DeKalb County. Also noting in a lot of lightning with a lot of these storms. They're producing over 1,000 strikes of lightning within this red box here that's highlighted from just east of Amboy up into just portions of southern McHenry County. A lot of lightning issued with these storms, and that's where there's also a lot of lightning, but also a lot of moisture, and that's allowing for that very heavy rainfall to come down within these storms. We are still dry at the moment with our Mercy Health SkyTrack camera in downtown Rockford on the Supply Corps building, brought to us by Window World. The severe thunderstorm watch at the moment is set to expire at 6 p.m. That's with the most intense of those thunderstorms primarily across northern Illinois. The exception to that watch is southern Wisconsin, as well as Joe Davies, Stevenson, and Carroll counties. We are seeing the potential for additional storms developing back behind this initial line right now. Those storms are producing the potential for about 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts as they move into parts of Joe Davies and Carroll counties, and those will continue to drift over the area over the next several hours, which could strengthen a little bit near those severe limits, which would be about 60-mile-per-hour gusts. Here's what Futurecast depicts the rest of the evening. Most of that higher concentration of coverage moves off to our east, but we'll still see that fill in with that coverage that's currently out in Iowa. We're likely going to be left with additional rounds of scattered showers and thunderstorms over the next several hours, but as we head beyond 9 or 10 o'clock tonight, the bulk of that coverage starts to move out to our east, leaving us with even then some pockets of clearing heading toward midnight. But that heavy rain potential still remains, I think, the biggest concern here in the near term for many of our counties, as especially in southern Lee County, where that rain starts to backbuild and building over the same areas, we could see those rainfall amounts add up in a hurry. So flash flooding could become a concern where those storms set up and train and move over the same areas. A flood watch remains in effect through tomorrow morning for Winnebago, Boone, McHenry, Ogle, Lee, and DeKalb counties. Already has seen a lot of rain come down with a lot of these storms. Weather watcher Sandy in the Kirkland-Fairdale area reporting 1.4 inches of rain. Terry in Genoa, as of the top of the hour, reporting 1.85 inches of rain. And Jean in DeKalb not reporting any rain at the moment, but reporting a lot of that lightning and thunder in that area. Air temperature of 85 degrees not that long ago. Cold front starts to settle down as we head into tomorrow. That'll bring a little bit of an end to our active pattern. Temperatures returning back to the upper 70s, low 80s for a few days, and then a secondary cold front brings us a first taste of fall by the end of next weekend.
First taste of fall. Okay,
Sounds kind of nice almost after all this humidity.
Right? Scott's up next to sports.
He is into his second week of high school football previews. Tonight he gives us a look at the Forston Cardinals.
Now sports with sports director Scott Lever.
In Forston, the folks take pride in their high school football program, as they should. The Cardinals have won 3 state championships since 2014. Last year, things went off the rails a bit. Can the Cardinals get back on track this year? Here's our 2-a-day preview. The Cardinals won only 2 games last season. It was their first losing season since 2009. That did not sit well with the kids or the coaches. They've turned their disappointment into motivation for this year.
I think that most of the guys on the team were really fired up after that 2-7 season and wanted to come back, obviously better.
It definitely gave us more drive to be better this year. Like he said, a lot more motivation, and we're working a lot harder at practice. We want to have that comeback from last year.
This isn't just talk. Coach Keenan Janicki has seen the commitment from the guys.
Last year, we definitely didn't meet our expectations as a program. We've definitely had a resurgence of commitment and passion, and we've just gotten after it since November.
Improvement begins up front for the Cardinals. They have one of the best two-way linemen in the NUIC returning, senior Hunter DeWall. Senior Jacob Kobler brings more experience and size to the lines.
I'm pretty confident of our line this year because we had a lot of young men last year on the line, so we got a lot more experience last year.
Senior Brady Gill returns for his third year as the starting quarterback.
He knows how to command our huddle. He knows what we want to accomplish on offense and all those good things, and he throws a really good football. We have to do a better job as coaches and offensive linemen and giving him time to do that.
Track and field speedsters Eli Ferris and Jonathan Milnes will be two players to watch at running back. Mickey Probst will provide the Cardinals with more of a power back. The Cardinals also have a bevy of fullbacks to choose from between Caden Loomis, Christian Raya, Kyle Alderks, and Liam Setterstrom. Caden Hoffman will be a key player at tight end. Hoffman will also play linebacker, so will Milnes, Chris Rohde, and Connor Polish. Props will also play a key role on the defense. Janicki knows that wanting to get back on track isn't enough. It takes effort, and that has been the message to his players.
Our practices have to be a little bit harder. We got to work out a little bit harder, and we have to do things just a tad differently.
Tonight at 9 and 10, I'll preview the Boylan Titans. We'll be right back.
A few new warnings across parts of the state line. A flash flood warning out for southern Lee County and southern DeKalb County that will run until 8:30 p.m., as well as a severe thunderstorm warning for Whiteside County that will run until 6:30 p.m. Those storms capable of producing gusty winds and some very heavy rainfall.
Thank you, Jordan.
And thanks for joining us. We'll see you again at 6.